And welcome to the CEO Talk Ahmedabad. This is an initiative by the Talk. The Talk is a very powerful platform to create meaningful business relationships and partnerships amongst the companies. This show is brought to you by Tata Tele Business Services. They are the country's leading enabler of connectivity and communication solutions for businesses. They offer solutions ranging from cloud security, IoT, marketing, connectivity, communication solutions for businesses in India. Tata Tele is also the largest provider of ICT business solutions for businesses in India. So today I would like to start this panel discussion by introducing the lovely panelists who have joined us. And I know this is a virtual session, but let us all give a good round of applause as I introduce them so that we have a good round of energy flowing inside the room. I would like to start by introducing Mr. Naresh Kumar Jain, Head IT, Nandan Denim Limited. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining with us. Followed by Madam Arpita Doshi, co-founder, NDF Nutrition Dynamic Foods LLP. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining with us. Followed by Mr. Sheetal Singh, Director, Marketing Intelligence Consulting Private Limited. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We also have Mr. Santosh Sahu, Director, Green Warehouse Private Limited. Thank you so much for joining with us, sir. We also have Madam Haripriya Bhagat, co-founder, India Biz for Sale. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining with us. We also are expecting the presence of Mr. Neerav Patel, Director, NXT Controls Private Limited, who will be joining us very shortly. And it's also my deemed pleasure in recognizing and inviting Mr. Harshdeep Dave, Deputy General Manager, SME Cluster, Sales Enterprise, Tata Teleservices, Maharashtra Limited, for this session. Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And I also pass on the floor to Mr. Harshdeep for a small welcome address.
Sure. Thank you once again for giving this opportunity to address the gathering. Though this was not part of agenda, this is a little surprise to me, to be very honest. Let me welcome all the panelists, and I have gone through some profiles. They seemingly looks very interesting. To name few, I have never ever, wildest of imagination, I have thought being a Gujarati, I will be able to eat a vitamin-based dhokla. So Arpita specializes in that, and that is something really, mind-boggling write-up which I have been witnessing on her website, and that really excites me to check at the later part. I'm sure she will speak elaboratively on her journey of transformation for health and foods into her industry. It also gives me immense insight on reading through various other profiles of the immense panelists who are here. To name few, Mr. Muthoot, who is into cookie business. Mr. Naresh, his organization was founded late in 70s, and they transformed from petrochemical to host of other set of business verticals. And Miss Priya, who is bringing two set of corporates into her platform, and it will be really interesting and looking forward to hear from her in terms of how she enables transformation of exit of businesses and entry of various businesses, and how she marries various business entities, and that's really exciting. So I really thankful for all your valuable time and taking out this presence today, and looking forward to a elite session in terms of having a knowledge sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Harshdeep. Let's quickly jump into the panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen. As I told you before, this is going to be a full-length panel discussion. I have a set of questions with me, and I would love to understand your perspectives for each of it. Looking back, I think last year, this same time would probably be the very... Dear panelists, please mute yourself unless and until it's your turn. So last year, this same time would have been probably the last time where we all had a normal life, right? So last year, this time was probably last week when we had something called as a normal life. Things are normal, and then the pandemic had happened. So everything changed. Our entire lives took a toss during the pandemic, right? So one of the biggest changes that was brought in with regards to the business was a culture of work from home, right? So when it is called from work from home, now it's just termed as remote working. So you can work from anywhere, right? So that is how now the companies have evolved. That is how the employees have been evolved. It's no longer a work from home. People are working from mall, people are working from cafe, people are working from wherever they want to. So remote working has been enabled to a entirely new level after the pandemic has struck in. So at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to understand what are some of the biggest challenges in enabling the remote working with regards to your business. So that will be the first question for the day. I would like to start with Haripriya.
Sure. Thank you, Muthu.
Yeah.
So I guess the COVID, this pandemic has hit every other business a big time, right? Since the time the lockdown started in March and towards the end of March and till date, people and the businesses are evolving with the ever, evolving technologies like Zoom, where we are on it currently on the platform, to Skype, Google Hangouts. It's become no longer necessary for this full-time office role based job for specifically for the service industries to be in. And to work effectively from home, you definitely need to create a setup which is sort of more productive in nature. You name it from anywhere, from the technology required to a separate office space kind of an environment within the home, to the work schedule you can stick to. Regardless of no matter how you look at, I guess working from home can have its own sort of distractions if not properly scheduled. So that's sort of main. I mean, we ourselves at India Biz for Sale have seen this increased digital adoption with, the transactions that have even happened online, which we have recently noticed in the last 2 weeks. And the buyers and sellers were matched online, and the transactions were discovered, and eventually with very less physical meets, the transactions have gone through. And this is an ever changing technology adoption that has actually brought in the setup we talk into the investment banking. So it's kind of disrupting the investment banking in a digital way.
All right. Thank you, Haripriya. It's over to Arpita.
Yeah, thank you, Muthu. So basically in our segment, like from food and beverage manufacturing unit from where I come from, work from home is something that was completely unprecedented. I mean, we could not follow the protocols. It's impossible to have a manufacturing unit running outside. So as per my perspective, I would say that yes, it is like a two-side of a coin. Once you have to adapt the technology, so we adapt some technology, but at some point, even having a physical contact was also a necessity for us. So balancing both the things was a big challenge for us, that you have to balance work digital as well as a physical contact. So that was the thing. Otherwise, yes, we tried wherever we could from work from home, and it had its own charms as well.
True, very true. Thank you, Arpita. This is over to Mr. Sheetal.
Sorry. So yeah, as I introduced myself, my company generally deals with SME segment customers, and I would be speaking on their behalf what kind of challenges they had when this COVID hit to them. Basic 3 points which we found out was the connectivity part. The connectivity at home. Well, yes, we can say tier 1 city can give you a stable connectivity, but where we go to tier 3, tier 4 sites, their connectivity is a major issue. So how to overcome those issues were the main concern with our customers. Second was the cyber security part. Now, frontline security was taken care when we were using our office space. Everything was there. But when the people went to their homes, they were using public internet to connect to their office servers. The endpoint security became paramount. This was a major concern and challenge for our segment of a customer we faced. Second was the logistic parts. Yes, the people who started moving out from office, they needed laptops, they needed desktops. So the company faced multiple issues on that front as well. On a holistic front, the digitalization of the products and buying products online has increased during this period.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Sheetal. It's over to Mr. Naresh Kumar. Mr. N.K. Jain, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Myself, N.K. Jain, heading IT department. During pandemic period, we have faced a lot of problem working from home suddenly because it was no any planned activity. And in the manufacturing side, there are a number of employees who are working at site, but it's very difficult for them to work from home by providing them required resources, laptop and security. Although we have arranged some of the resources in certain way, but there were, like others told, various security issues at endpoint, like virus or cyber security issues. But anyhow, we manage the show, and from various aspects, sometimes we have to move at sites also due to some requirement of the physical there. So such type of issues are very there. We manage the show in all way, and we found, but definitely technology very helpful for the industry or for the person to outcome all the issues faced at the time of pandemic.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I would be happy if you can speak on a quieter environment because there are a lot of disturbances from your background.
Yes.
Going forward, yes, I will love to hear with Mr. Santosh. Over to you.
Hi everybody. Basically, as you know, actually this is one of the toughest, function for us because this was the second year in the startup. So we have just started in 2018, and this was the second year for us in the journey. So you can imagine the kind of toughest situation we have seen. So we have faced a lot of problems since everybody is telling about supply chain. So we are into supply chain business. So it is totally unorganized, and most of the areas are not connected to IT. It is totally manpower driven, function. So it was very tough because labor was not available in most of the cases. Vehicles was not available. Sometimes the people who are there at home, they are not connected, and it is a very difficult situation for us. Since we were running 70 locations, so you can know, so in some places the lockdown was suddenly coming and nobody was responding. So crores of worth material is there inside the warehouse in a remote location, and since nobody is responding, it is very difficult for us. People are moving to the warehouse, but they were not giving authority to even open the warehouse. So we have faced a lot of challenges, and since every day some transactions happens in the warehouse, so the HO staff, we tried to move them to home, but sometimes it is very difficult to operate because there are a lot of buying happens, it comes to warehouse, then some payments are related to inward, and also it was not going directly. So maybe in the month of March and April we faced a lot of problems. Then from May onwards, actually we tried to shift the entire thing into cloud. So it was server based, many things were there server based, and we shifted it to cloud, and so that everybody can access all the information online through internet and all. So this was a great change for us, and we have taken second line actually. I mean, we have given authority to second line because most of the seniors were not able to move to any locations. So second line was empowered, and they have taken the charge actually in the states, in the clusters, in the territory.
right.
And all. So these are the initiative we have taken, but it was very tough. But anyhow, as everybody tells, there are A to Z kind of a solutions are there. So every time we were just looking out for another
Thank you.
solutions. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Santosh. That was, that was the inputs that we had from the speakers. So, right from maybe it being an investment banking sector, wherein Haripriya was talking about the setup, wherein she had the difficulty, or the food industry, wherein Harpita had an industry, or of course, the manufacturing industry had a huge hit. Manufacturing industry, working from home or remote working was definitely a difficult process when it comes to manufacturing industry. And that was the difficulties faced by the companies, their audience. Yes, at this juncture, I would like to bring in Mr. Harshwadeep to understand what are some of the limitations of the traditional call management systems.
Fine. So, I mean, before just addressing to that, I would add two, three more pointers in terms of challenges, because I work, cutting across the segment, I work with all the industry lines and segments. So there were logistical issues, there were digital transformation issues, there were issues of enabling digital transformation for employees as well. There were issues like productivity management, there were issues like ensuring that employees engaged and also still continue the revenue and the keep the ball rolling for business since they were operating from home. Having said that, there are various limitations of conventional business flow and call management. To name few, you cannot take call from anywhere and everywhere. There is omnipresence issue wherein you cannot have connectivity across the offices from a single entity. You have to rely on different entities. There are issues in terms of adoption. There are issues in terms of technology. There are limitations in terms of adoption of digital technology and transformation when it comes to SME business segments and individual business houses. So having said that, the major transformation limitation is, of a mindset of either an employee or the business houses, wherein they are put to an inconvenience by virtue of this pandemic, and they have to really look out for some solution. Like Mr. Santosh said, there are A to Z solutions available, but then how far people know it, that yes, it is available in the marketplace where they can go and approach.
All right, thank you, sir. So those were some of the limitations of the traditional call management system. But thankfully, Tata Tele is offering lots and lots of services to overcome this issue, which we will be definitely talking in the later part of the sessions. Coming back to the audience, I would like to understand. So as soon as the pandemic hit, the first and foremost, I think one of the common investments everyone made invariably was the Zoom. I think everyone will agree to me, right? So just like that, Zoom became an overnight celebrity. And we were very shocked to again see that Zoom was already there. Zoom was already there into existence. And that is when we all realized that the technology was there. It has always been there. But this pandemic had made us to embrace the technology a little faster than what it was supposed to be, right? So talking about which, I'd like to understand from you panelists at this juncture, what kind of investments have businesses made with in terms of enabling the remote working? So in specific to your business, what were the investments you made to enable the remote working? I would again like to start with Haripriya.
So obviously, entire team was working from various locations within Gujarat. Most of us, and but at the same time, communication is the key, to make this sort of working. So Slack Slack application was one of the technologies that we had just we were using, but it had become immensely important for us to then adapt to it, to make the process more easier and the communication more fertile for the team, for us to manage the team. And obviously there were Zoom and the Google Hangouts. So Google Hangouts, so we used to have these regular team meetings first thing in the morning, which eventually slowed down to twice a week. And now when we still do that, because that has sort of become more adaptive in nature, just to know what's going on and how, if there are any sort of, precautions we can take thereafter. So that has reduced down to once a week, but it all started that those stand-up meets, which the product team used to have, spread across the entire sort of organization, even with the sales support, every sort of team. So yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So Slack was one of the biggest investments that Haripriya had made with regards to our business. And we would have to agree that this pandemic and had made us to embrace the digital work life. And in turn, it has made the boundaries shorter. Now I can sit in the comfort of my house at Coimbatore and I can do a virtual round table with people around from Ahmedabad and Mumbai or wherever, right? So yeah, digital, the video conferencing apps were of a big investments. Is moving forward to Arpita.
Yeah, so basically we had done more investment towards, on our retail outlet side, where we had to sell our products. So we went more towards e-commerce platforms. We got collaborated with various e-commerce platforms. And also we are investing in developing more real-time tracking websites in order to help our customers and be some innovative ways, so we are more focused on developing something innovative, because even that's the core of our business, that we innovate in all the aspects. So when it comes to technology, we want our consumers to have an experience which is highly innovative. That's where we are investing right now.
Wonderful, wonderful, Arpita. Is going forward to Mr. Sheetal.
Yeah. So as Santosh told us that the major contribution was towards the cloud adaptation. Most of our customers, whosoever had having the servers in house, they wanted to do make cloud adaptation as fast as possible, or shift their server into data center service providers. So maximum 60% of our customer base was moving into cloud. This was one of the biggest change. These were already there. These products were already there. Everybody knew what this product. Only COVID told them this is important to have it. So this was the major point where our customer moved in. And other is, of course, the cybersecurity. I'm talking about the first section. The cybersecurity investment has increased drastically. Endpoint security investment has increased drastically. These are the two major points where we saw the traction coming in.
Wonderful, wonderful, Sheetal. As he rightly said, I think I should highlight the cybersecurity point from Mr. Sheetal, because I think it has been a very big awareness, or it has been of a very big boom like never before. As much as the technology is increasing, the cybersecurity is also a major concern. Thank you so much for highlighting it, Mr. Sheetal. Moving forward to Mr. Santosh Shahu.
Yeah, in terms of investment, if you can say, so there are actually two sides of it. One is basically, since we were a startup, so there were a lot of technologies available, but seeing the budget and everything, we tried our best to select the best one. But this was two challenge was that how to engage your clients all the time. That is one of the challenge. And second thing is how you engage your employees all the time. So these are the two areas we have picked up. And since this is purely supply chain business, so everyone has to be connected all the time. So we try to go into digital. So all the promoters and top management and everybody, we want them, first of all, we have asked them to change their DP. Put your name, put your email ID, put your phone number, so that anybody who goes to WhatsApp, they can see your number and they can call you. And that is the first thing we have done. Secondly, we tried to go more digital. So we have also changed our website in between, because a lot of time was there and developers were there. So we changed the website, and we have developed beautiful videos and all. And who are the people who are the trainers actually in the warehousing? They are from old times, basically the central warehousing team, and they were the main people. But they have also adopted this Zoom, and they have tried, taking 10, 15 people together and trying to do training and all. So entire team was actually on digital mode, and entire marketing was on the digital mode. And all the claims and whatever was there for the employees, we were trying to put it on digital and pass it. And, the old Gujarati check system, we have stopped in that time actually. And we have started, stopping all the checks, only internet and online transfer was, adopted. So these are all kind of things we have done. The the second side is that the expenses has gone up because, the trains were not there, the public transport was not there. So everybody was given cab and car to move from one place to other place. Everyone, there are limited flights were available. So everyone has to, go to other distant places through flight with higher cost and also these are all investments. So operating cost was very high as compared to the normal time. So
All right.
yeah, these
All
are
right.
the two types of, investment we have incurred during
Wonderful.
lockdown.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Sahu. So as he said that, as he rightly pointed out, the employee front, taking the digital towards the employee front was indeed a challenge. But I need to highlight what he said, changing the email. Oh my God, you need to see the email before the pandemic, crazykid@gmail.com, darkprince@gmail.com. But the email etiquette has been increased during the pandemic since everyone have adopted the digital work life, I should say. Thank you so much, Mr. Santosh. Yes, at this juncture, I'd also like to recognize the presence of yet another lovely panelist who joined with us, Mr. Neerav Patel. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining with us, sir. Are you with us?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for inviting, first of all.
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure, sir. So I'll come back to you with the question. We're just discussing on a point. Give me 2 minutes of time, sir.
Sure.
Yes, moving to Mr. N.K. Jain. Sir, can I hear your perspective? Mr. Naresh Kumar, are you with us? Mr. N.K. Jain, please unmute yourself. All right, I'll come back to Mr. Naresh a bit later. So yes, Neerav sir, we were discussing about a topic was what were some of the investments the businesses had made in enabling the remote working was the question. Can I have your perspective on it?
Okay. As an IT service provider, we had multiple servers, cloud servers, to perform the remote work. We also developed some kind of project management system for our internal staff who were working from home. Still, some of our employees doing the remote work for our client as well. So I think pandemic has improved the work efficiency. That 24/7 employees can work as well as client can get the solution or bug fixes or new functionalities very quickly. So I think it's a great deal that the pandemic is improved and make the people digitalize more and more.
Thank you, Mr. Neerav. Can we have another try on Mr. N.K. Jain? Sir, are you with us? Mr. N.K. Jain? All right, let's move on. So at this juncture, I would again like to call Mr. Harshdeep sir, since being the Deputy General Manager of Tata Tele Maharashtra. I would like to understand one thing from you, sir. What are some of the digital strategies that can be deployed to harness simple and cost-effective communication? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. So now your question has basically two facets to it. One is simple and second is cost effective. Now it is every technology has its own cost, and technology with a cost is an added burden to any of the business houses. Digital strategies that I have noticed for the past 1.5 year now, post this pandemic, is majorly business houses are shifting on their focus on two things: how they address their internal communication, that is communicating with their internal employee with all the security parameters and making it seamless. Second is how they address communication between their customers, between vendors, and a host of other parties who are liable to build the complete ecosystem in the eco chain. Having said so, it was very difficult for us to come up with some solution which are cost effective and simple. And it was by virtue of that, those 2 points, that we were able to develop such communication system, which is in today's scenario we call it a smart flow, which not only enables business houses to communicate with their customers seamlessly, but it gives them an added advantage of having communication across the city lines, across their presence where their employees are, whether they are sitting in one state, they are spread across the state, whether they are operating from home, or partially they are also operating from their business houses. The major challenge was how they optimize their existing investment that has already gone into previously. So major issue was cost effectiveness, and we could enable this with a simple solution called cloud telephony, which not only enabled them to communicate with their employees, with their customers, with their ecosystem, it gave them an advantage of communicating and making the communication more simpler in form of operating out of any device, whether it is smartphone or seemingly a lesser smartphone. All they need to do is deploy this solution from Tata Tele Business Services, and they were on.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Harshdeep. So moving further, I think I would come back to the panelists this time. So I would like to understand what were some of the biggest challenges faced by the businesses, specifically in terms of call management, collaboration, and communication, which are the three big C's of a digital lifestyle, right? So the three big C's of any digital lifestyle is going to be the call management, collaboration, and communication. So talking about which, I would like to understand from you lovely panelists, what were some of the biggest challenges in terms of those big threes? I would like to start again with Haripriya.
Thanks, Muthu. So, I'll start with communication first, because if we think about communication, which is the key factor in bringing, the internal as well as the external stakeholders on a single platform with at the same level, right? And that is first and foremost very important. When we at IndiaBiz, the platform, I think giving out the right messaging, even on the platform, needs to be as standardized as what you talk to the clients on the call. And the whole digitization of a standardized, to create the standard messaging going out to the users was sort of very much necessary. With digital media having so many mediums, you have Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, with so many variants, how do you create that uniformity was the key. And at IndiaBiz for Sale, that is where through social media, we've tried to bring that communication across from the platform in a digital way. And if you're talking about like the call management and the collaboration. So I think these go sort of hand in hand. And this is where the internal team also tries to handle with the clients. I think it's more about bringing that optimization through internal productivity and the customer experience. And yes, this is what we try to follow.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Haripriya. Is over to Arpita.
Yeah, hi. So yeah, in terms of communication and collaboration, if we tell at NDF, we found that basically the social media sites were loaded with a lot of people, but however, people were not that active on social media is because of the pandemic. Their mental state was something that was depressing. So we started posting out some more innovative recipes, because we found out, like in our business, that people were doing more of home cooking. So we used to communicate in such a way that people used to enjoy. And in terms of our internal employees, we made a regime in the morning to give them a call and arrange a small sort of like, meditation program, so that it gives a resilience to their mental health. So that was the two things that we immediately had to incorporate in our business in order to keep on communicating as well as. And this innovative recipes were posted throughout the medium. So, people would love to see when it comes to food. So that's where we made that major difference.
Wonderful, wonderful. So talking about home cooking, I think even Harshdeep sir had a big nod on his phase, I think he also had an experience of home cooking. Every other house saw a new cook or a new baker developed during the pandemic. And yes, I think Arpita had done a beautiful job in bringing out the innovative recipes and keeping people active on social media. Wonderful. So moving with Mr. Sheetal.
Yeah. Our problem was little bit different, as right now we are using Zoom calls, web, with basically the communication is happening through internet. Some of our customers employee went into tier 3, tier 4 cities. They had some network issues over there where the voice quality and the video quality was not so great, but they had to be in that meetings. They had to be the part of meetings so that the communication keeps flowing to them. So where TTBS has helped us is where they brought in web conferencing plus audio conferencing together on that. And that was one of the biggest help which we were able to pass on to our customers, where the not only through web, people were able to join through their simple mobile phone on a web on a conferencing platform and get the all updates from the teams. Secondly, as Harshdeep has already mentioned about the smart folio, where the capex cost for each and every customers is very important right now and right this moment. They don't want to invest in the technology which will get absolute easily, where smart folio helps you in reducing that capex. And just when you want to scale up, you can add agent. When you want to scale down, you can decrease the agent. Yeah, these are the smart products which actually helped our customers, where TTBS has helped us a lot to engage with our customers in this period of time.
All right. Thank you, sir. And as you rightly mentioned, the bandwidth has been a very big problem to the tier 3 and tier 4 cities. And because of this, a lot of employees fail to keep intact or keep updated with what is happening with the team, or fail to deliver the output at the time it is supposed to. But on the contrary, again, even the tier 1 city sometimes faces a lot of bandwidth issues, right? I see a lot of people in Mumbai, especially when it rains again, the network is really, really very, very poor. So their bandwidth is a very major concern. Thank you, Sheetal, for pointing it out. Is moving forward, Mr. Neerav Patel.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
The question is, what are some of the biggest challenges faced by the businesses, specifically in terms of call management, collaboration, and communication with clients?
Okay. We are doing the industrial automation as well as ERP system deployment to the client side. So usually our team members are going to visit the plant and look after the machines and creating the report. How can it be digitalized or connect to the IoT modems as well? But during the pandemic, it was a very hard that none of our technical staff can visit the site. So we were using some kind of Zoom calling or a Google Meet, or develop one small software which is installed in your laptop and connect nearby devices and report it to the our server, and we will process for that. So it's a very hard, complex structure for industrial automation to monitor such kind of things. But still, somehow we managed it, and also it affect the business as well. So it's a very tough time for us during this pandemic.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Neerav. Is over to Mr. Santosh. Santosh, sir, are you with us? Please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
So basically, if you say challenges, then I told it is the communication gap was the major challenge for us, because day to day, we have a very high speed of communication among the stakeholders, because in the entire value chain we operate in the rural India, so the connectivity was one of the major challenge for us, and the work efficiency was the second criteria, because you cannot monitor the employee, though we have all IT network in place, but you cannot give them any kind of stringent guideline or anything. So that was a challenge actually. So So
Thank you, Mr. Sahu. Moving forward, I think I have to recode what Mr. Sheetal had said a few moments back when we were talking about the investments perspective. Sheetal rightly mentioned about the importance of cloud. So in specific with regards to digital lifestyle, I think cloud is the elixir of any digital business. Without cloud, a business cannot go on to the next level. And I think everyone will definitely accept with that. And I think I should rightly bring in Mr. Harshwadeep here to understand how is cloud helping BPOs bring agility into their operations. Over to you, sir.
Sure. So I would not like to restrict my answer only to BPO, to be very honest, because BPO is one such segment that is, adopting this technology fast, whether when it comes to communication.
Right.
Having said so, we have heard all our eminent panelists that what kind of challenges they have faced. So this has many facets in terms of, doing your messaging right, having a unified communication design for your end customers, having a good connectivity, like Sheetal said. And their biggest challenge was how do you hook your customers to your website or to your business proposition so that, when the right time comes, you leverage that. Having said so, all these things comes with lot of facet to it. One is getting a right set of technology, able to, streamline and manage those communications so that you can enhance and improve over it. Communications like which goes out of office to your end consumers and the ecosystems, whether the communication and the commitment that your employees are delivering on your behalf is right or not. So there are facets to it like, recording facility. There are facets to it like having a easy set of unified communication design, which is on cloud, but doesn't give you experience like cloud. When I say this, even to access cloud, you need to have a fat pipe or a good data connectivity. Having said so, all these challenges were mitigated right from BPO segment to any of the industrial segment wherein end consumer dependency is not restricted on data. The network and the seamlessness that they get of any digital technology by virtue of smart flow that I'm referring to is not data dependent. It is data agnostic. When I say data agnostic, any employee remotely present, any organization which is working from wider section of geography, it is easy for them to adopt this technology and do their do the right thing in terms of communicating with their endpoint, and which meets their end to the means. So whether it is internal communication, whether between the employees, whether it is communication with their customers or right party contact, entire gambit of it made easy without dependency of all these technological hurdles and bottlenecks. So that is what smart flow stands for when it comes to unified communication and solution, invariably whether it is BPO or any segment of industry.
Thank you, Mr. Harshwadeep. And he also combined how SmartFlow is helping the business along with the answer. And needless to mention, there are numerous solutions that the Tata Tele has been offering to ensure business continuity and productivity for SMEs, especially during the tough times like COVID. And I think we should all be very, very grateful for the Tata Tele. Thank you, sir. Moving forward, we were all talking about the challenges, the investments, and all that. And I think as an entrepreneur, something which all connects us is the ability to find a solution to any problem, right? So as an entrepreneur, we have always been trained towards to look forward to what next. So we all talked about the challenges so far. And at this juncture, I would like to understand from you panelists, what can be one enterprise solution you would like to have to enhance the business productivity? One enterprise solutions you would like to have to enhance the business productivity? I'd like to start once again with Haripriya.
Sure. So I think when we talk about strategy, I think being resilient in what COVID has taught us, product innovation to create easy solutions around your business model is very important. So what this COVID period, particularly for India Biz for Sale, has allowed us to, reflect and forced us to adopt is we have eventually seen transactions happening with minimal physical meetings. And no one would ever think that investment banking or transactions like exit and fundraise can happen without two parties meeting each other. So what we have this last 9 to 10 months of period has taught us to even launch without any big bells and whistles, basic but very robust product. And that has been, which is actually just the key in adding value to the users. We've been doing Business Buyers Club as events, physical events. The last one which we did was just a week before the lockdown, which was 14th of March in Bangalore. And the entire team was there, and we were about to figure out whether we'll be able to conduct the meeting that day, the meet that day or not. Okay, obviously with the lockdown hit and the COVID period teaching us, we adapted doing this virtually. So we came up with small, medium business growth, SMB series growth. And we are running its 7th series now, which will be coming up on the 26th of March. But what we learn is to focus on what is bringing value to the users. But so it's not about having new features to build that automation, but even if it's like little advancement, not just like with immense technology, not to show the fancy tricks and traits, but it's about just adding value to your users and getting them to achieve what they are there for.
All right. So I think here we have someone again who's doing a round table with Haripriya. Thank you so much. Is moving to Arpita.
Yeah, so at NTF, what we would say is that innovation to solve a complex problem, but give a consumer experience, such technology, if somebody has developed, yes, definitely it would enhance our business, as we always have a struggle at a manufacturing, that how do we give a consumer experience, because we don't do a retailing. So that is where we always have this challenge. So we are looking for such innovative technology which are sustainable, again having some out of the moon experience to the consumers, so that we can become more resilient in our business also. So that's what NDF is always looking about. It's all about looking innovation and sustainability.
Okay, and innovative technology is what you are looking at. I think the entire world is looking for something very innovative to give their customers an out of the moon experience, as Arpita rightly mentioned. Is moving further to Mr. Sheetal.
So my take would be a single dashboard giving me information regarding my all devices, how secure, again I'm talking the security aspect, how secure are they, if they are affected or not affected. If a person sitting in Pune can control entire devices across India and even world, where he can see if there a threat is coming, then that can be optimized and reduced. This is where the major thought process would be going on, so that there are multiple service providers that can be clubbed into single dashboard where a company can take a call on it. That would be my take on the innovation part.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Sheetal. So I think he rightly mentioned the dashboard, and I think I should really talk about the data is a new oil here, right? So data is a new oil, and every other industry or every other business is looking forward for a technology or a software that helps them to manage the data seamlessly. So thank you, Mr. Sheetal. Moving forward to Mr. Santosh. Mr. Santosh Sahu, are you with us? Mr. Santosh? All right, let's quickly move on to Mr. Neerav.
Yes. So we are developing ERPs from 2015. In 2018, we launched a customized ERP solution for FMCGs. So FMCG have a very vast distributed network for supplying their goods from manufacturing to C&F to distributor, and distributor to retail outlets. So till the pandemic or till this lockdown, their sales staff is visiting each and every counter, that's a retail counter or a shop, grocery shop or so, and placing the order on a normal mobile application, which we already developed. But in a pandemic, the salesperson won't go to the retail outlets or can't go to at the same time. So our customers are asking for is there any possibility or is there any technology that the retail user or a retail shop owner can place the order directly with the company. So it's a very tough task. There's the retail outlet owners are not that much educated, or they are looking for some kind of easy solution. So we developed a one QR-based ordering system for them. So that's a simple QR sharing over the WhatsApp or email or any chat application that they have, or even on SMS. Whenever they click on the link or scan the QR code, their product catalog will be popped up on the mobile screen. They place the order, and we have communicated all their distributor mapping to each and every retailer. Let's say one retail outlet has ordered some kind of product that they first. So automatically system will map the nearest distributor by the geo coordinates and say that this retailer is asking for this product and you have to deliver it within 2 or 3 days, and company will notify accordingly. So we developed some modules for them, and they are very happy with this kind of solutions. So yes, people are asking for new technologies. They are demanding it, and most probably, if you are delivering them at affordable price, easy to use, and more data driven, so people are accepting nowadays, and it's a good thing for India as well.
Thank you, Mr. Nirav. Can we try Mr. Santosh once again?
Basically, we are looking out for a unified solution where we can monitor the entire warehouse in one go. So we have tried a lot of technologies. Basically,
Mr. Santosh, your screen is frozen. I think Mr. Sheetal's point is valid here. The bandwidth problem, I think it is coming live right now. So thank you, Mr. Santosh. I'll definitely get back to you in a bit. So I think I should finally get back to Mr. Harshdeep sir for one last time for today. And I would like to understand from you what kind of competitive advantages and efficiencies can the deployment of cloud telephony solutions bring to the BPOs? Over to you, sir.
So probably you are putting this across since I am talking more about the communication part. Nevertheless,
yes,
I would like to sum this up in a fashion where, I would like to repeat and would like to second what Haripriya said, being resilient and have a product solution which add value to user. This becomes a competitive advantage when you are talking about cloud telephony specifically, I am saying. Arpita spoke about innovation that gives a different experience to the end user, and most importantly should be sustainable for a longer period of time. That's an important point. So product being on cloud, which is not hosted in-house, gives you scalability, and that's another big advantage, right? Sheetal very categorically spoke about controlling. When the control is not in single premise and it is spread across geography, it gives you a little jitter in terms of how do you manage things, what are set of communication which is going out, what are set of commitments that are going out, how do you unifiedly bring it on the same table, and this is what this particular product has. It as unique feature wherein it gives you a panel and you manage the complete show seamlessly. Having said so, Nirav pointed out very specifically 2 points on new technology, which is there is a demand to it and it has to be data driven. When you say data driven, you should be able to articulate those data, whether it is in form of voice, whether it is in form of any tabled format, and you should be able to improve it. And specifically to this, that is what we have bundled with this set of technology, which you just spoke about and you wanting me to speak, is having a complete tight bit monitoring with data that throws you in terms of where to improve, where to make changes, where to tweak around in terms of communication goes. And in terms of efficiency, it gives you host of features like call recording, tracking the communication that is being made, uh, generating host of reports, and giving you customized dashboards so that you can come back to specific set of agents or employees and educate them, guide them, and do your communication right. So that is what we bring on table as far as advantage and efficiency is concerned.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Harshdeep. And he beautifully pointed each and every single thing that the speaker have told about. And it just shows how observant he's all about. And I would like to have the panelists to answer for one last question for today. This is like more or less a personal question, something very interesting. And one of my favorite questions of the day is the pandemic had come. Yes, it did through toss in all our lives, a complete tantrum to a lot of us. And few people did have a boom. A lot of businesses saw a boom during this period as well. But all that is said and done, I would like to understand that there has to be one thing that you did during the pandemic that worked for your business, correct? So one strategy or something that worked for your business that you would like to share with the others. And I would like to bring in Haripriya again. Over to you.
So I think I covered earlier, I think it was more about the product innovation that we brought, the events that we did once or twice a year, which we are running the 7 series now of these virtual events for the last 10 months. I mean, in one financial year, doing 7 buyers club, having the businesses showcase curated and serious investors and buyers to take the transaction to the next level. I think this was more on the innovation side, that not that we had thought that we'd be able to productize event kind of a revenue stream. So,
Sure.
yeah.
So product innovation is something that really, really worked for Haripriya. Yes, moving to Arpita.
Yeah, hi. Yes, I also already told that NDF is all about innovation and sustainability. So that was the two things that has driven us and has helped us to sail this storm of a pandemic. So I suppose going with innovation and of course nutrition is now the new normal because everybody has understood about health. So these 3 drivers have been always an rocking combo for NDF all the time, innovation, sustainability, and health.
All right. Innovation, sustainability, and health for NDF. Thank you so much, Arpita. Yes, to Mr. Sheetal.
R was cloud adaptation and security portfolios, which gave us major traction in this pandemic. Everybody wanted to go cloud. Everybody wanted to secure their data. Everybody wanted to be 24/7 still sitting at home. The cloud adoption has been the big time for us.
All right. Cloud adoption from Mr. Sheetal. Thank you, sir. This is over to Mr. Santosh.
Putting the top management in every decision. Basically, we just come forward and we came forward and we try to take part in the decision making. And this cloud, as I told earlier also, this is the one of the way actually we have connected with everybody and there was quick decision making. So putting people at home and secured, this was actually we have to work more as compared to the other day, because decision making is the crucial thing at that point of time. So we come forward and that was the actually strategy we have done. So putting ourselves at the front and decide things, that was the main area we have focused on.
Proper decision making is something that worked well for Mr. Santosh. Yes, to Mr. Neerav Patel.
Yes. So we are doing the desktop-based application till the pandemic, and after the pandemic, almost each and every software we moved to the cloud because everyone wants it. Everyone wants the AI. Everyone wants the ML. Everyone wants some kind of a technology that works automatically and yet secured, efficient, and more faster. So cloud is the ultimate key for each and every question. So yeah, it's everyone looking forward to cloud solution as well as customize. So we did it customization and switching to the cloud applications more and more frequently.
All right. So I can take technology as his answer from Mr. Neerav. And I think with that, we come to the end of today's panel discussion. As I told you earlier, it was definitely interesting and exciting. And we had a lot of lovely inputs and a lot of interesting, facts that has been shared by, I would say, Mr. Sheetal or Haripriya, or even Harshdeep sir was lovely in explaining certain areas. And at this junction, I'd like to invite Mr. Harshdeep for a brief closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
So we have been doing this understanding and meeting people. This is various initiatives that we choose to connect with business owners and business houses to understand their set of challenges and their piece of innovations that they do. Being a technology-driven organization, we have come a long way in terms of crafting niche for our customers. And I thank you, I thank all of you for giving more insight and deeper insight in terms of what exactly you guys have been doing in terms of transforming your own business entities and serving your customers. This gives us opportunity to go a little extra mile in terms of adding those small pointers that we could have missed pertaining to certain segments, whether it is logistic, food, or a collaborative platform which Sheetal or Neerav is working on. I really thank all of you for spending and sparing time. It was really an insightful session, and we really look forward for more such sessions in futures to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Harshdeep. And thank you, dear lovely panelists, for joining with us today. This is the CEO Talk sponsored by the Tata Tele. This is an initiative by the Talk. So on behalf of the Talk, we wish you all a great success in your business in the upcoming days. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you so much, dear panelists. This is me, Muthu, signing off. Until next time. Thanks a lot.